Ooh, looking crazy today. Feeling even crazier, but that's okay. I had one other little camera with me. All right, so my first video is out there. Thank you so much if you watched it. My press publish muscle is getting a little bit stronger, but today I'm going to talk to you about something that's been a creative block for me, aside from showing up on camera, which you see I've gotten past that. I went to the gym. I have beet juice on my shirt from making juice today. But aside from how I show up on camera, it's actually working with the cameras themselves. So I want to talk to you about that today. Don't get me wrong. I love a good cinematic camera like my Sony A7 III, which I'm saying is mine. But shout out to my friend Alana. You can see her here. She let me use her camera. This is my Sony A7 III. So huge. This is a 28-70 Sony lens. But my friend Alana let me borrow her camera. And this is it. And it's just been great. I like it. And that's what the rest of this was recorded on. This camera with a good lens can give you stunning results. But for me, as a solo creator, like lugging it around or holding it up and carrying it for long periods of time, that gets heavy. Plus, when I pull it out, people just freeze up and it screams like professional production. And so all of a sudden, everybody's like fixing themselves and careful about what they're talking about. So sometimes I feel like it doesn't lend itself to capturing like authentic, spontaneous moments that I love. So between my camera and I have another camera, which is actually my drone, those two, using them alone, like if I'm not going to be right up on it or I can't really watch my surroundings, they just stress me out a little bit. And so I think like thinking about the equipment and is it in the right place? Am I taking care of it? Do I need to worry about somebody else grabbing it or touching it, especially if I have a tripod? Like those things completely pull me out of my creative flow. And sometimes that barrier is just too high. I don't climb it and I don't film anything altogether. I know that sucks. That's such a like defeatist attitude, but this is the honesty spot. So that's just sometimes how it is. I've realized that I don't need a massive setup to kind of get back in my groove and to tell my stories. I'm going to show you a little bit of what I've been using and what I found to be incredibly helpful to just kind of get those creative juices flowing. Okay, I'm going to show you what's in my toolkit because I keep saying creative tools and gizmos and gadgets and thingies galore, Little Mermaid reference. This is just what is in my purse, which is this little like clear Madewell bag, mesh Madewell bag. This is just what's in my purse today. Like what I'm doing right now, just trying to get that muscle strong with multiple reps of video a day. Like these smaller cameras, they're superpowers for this. They like really remove the friction. So if you're worried about like, what are people gonna think when I pull out this big camera and this tripod and I have to carry all this stuff? Don't worry about it because nobody will see those things. Nobody will know. First up is this guy. This is my DJI Osmo. I don't even know if it's Osmo, but my DJI Pocket 3, okay? I love this thing. It's been fantastic for getting super smooth, cinematic looking shots. I took it with me to Mexico. I take it just around town. I told you, I went to the gym today. I brought it just for that. It's not a complicated setup. I have this little case. It's magnetic. And so I use it when I want to snap things on. I accidentally turn it on. It has a gimbal built in. It has an extended battery. This is the extended battery. Great for it. Now, these things are really expensive. They're hard to find, but I have a link to a creator kit. So if you want to check it out, check the link in my bio. That is a Best Buy creator affiliate link because I am a Best Buy creator. If you don't want to use that, use your handy dandy cell phone. Cell phones are great for just popping them up, taking a quick photo, putting it back down under the table, whatever, you know, capturing you, your friends, a stranger if you want to be discreet. Don't be a creep though, okay? But I think a cell phone is great. Like my cell phone's always with me. It's always ready. Well, often ready if I'm not using it for like navigation and stuff like that. But it lets me kind of capture those super spontaneous moments where a bigger camera would just like ruin the vibe or ruin the moment. I find these particularly useful when I'm working with folks who are not comfortable being on camera. So my family members. Also, my phone is an iPhone 13, but it does pretty good for some kind of wildlife stuff if I'm pretty close up. Next up is my GoPro. This is an old GoPro. My boo, he's got a 13. I have a 7. And I'm going to say get a 13 because when I looked at his footage versus my footage from the same scene, same place, his footage won. If it were up to me, I'd get a Hero 13. And if anybody is listening out there, give me a GoPro Hero 13. Or DJI has an action camera too that's kind of like the GoPro. I don't know, I think I've just gotten used to GoPros. I typically am using it for my bike. I love the GoPro on a bike, and I have a chesty. I also have one that you can put on your head, which I think is meant for helmets, but I just be wearing it just straight on my scalp. GoPro's that girl. All right, next up in my lineup, Insta360. Now, some of you know, which is maybe 2 of you out of 3 of my viewers, that I am working on a planetarium film. And so when you're in the planetarium, that's different from flat cinematic footage. So you need to capture in 360. So I use this dual lens Insta360. This is the X3. I'm going to link you to the X3 and the X4. But this camera totally changes how I think about capturing scenes. It's unobtrusive. It has a monitor so you can see pretty well if it's facing you. The nice thing is because it's capturing in 360, I don't have to worry about changing my angles and stuff. In post, I can move things around. So I'm capturing something over here on this side and something on that side. And you can just move it around when you're editing. So for me, these various tools have been game changers. They're light, they're discreet, and most importantly, they let me focus on the moment and the story I might be trying to tell. Now, this isn't to say anything bad about big cameras. They're great for certain projects. And there are some in-betweens. There's 2 Sony cameras I've tried, and I taught my mom how to use one for London. I would call it a vlogging camera. But for someone like me who wants to kind of stretch those muscles without burdening or overwhelming the technical part of my brain up front, these smaller tools are the answer. The whole point of this is about just getting out there, pressing record, and creating. And if you don't want fear of equipment to dictate whether or not you make something, these are your tools. These are your weapons. If you're into like compact cameras like this, let me know in the comments. Do you have one of these? Are you a cell phone only person? If you are, which phone? Because I've been trying to make a case for upgrading my iPhone. Convince me. No one man should have all these cameras.